Hi, I'm Robert McMaster and this is my video workbook for 222.453 VCD Research and Development. The purpose of these videos is to reflect on the process of character creation. By doing so, I hope to discover more about the characters I am creating that at this point are little more than vague directions that I may or may not want to include in a narrative. I'm hoping that choosing this process will help me evaluate the pros and cons of the design, as well as inspire potential background information about the character. At the moment, my thoughts are scattered about as to how I can construct a post-apocalyptic narrative that conveys the theme of communicative challenges brought about by the reinterpretation of ancient symbols. To try put this into context, I've written a brief description. Present-day society used to being fed information through television, internet, and printed media. The internet especially relies on symbols and abbreviated language to communicate with people around the globe. What if a post-apocalyptic world loses the infrastructure of communication we are all so used to? People would be rapidly searching for new symbols to relate to and groups to align themselves with. As our current technologies would have been destroyed, the only remains of symbolic societies would be held underground in yet to be discovered archaeological trenches containing remnants of different cultures, myths, and beliefs. Survivors would quickly align to ancient cultures in a struggle to create a new identity. So at this point, I want to create several diverse cultures that contain their own stylistic, emotive, and sociable characteristics. How will these cultures clash? Or perhaps they agree on some terms. I want to incorporate ancient and modern symbols into these characters to create a new interpretation for the viewer. So moving on to the character that I'm drawing now. This one I did a couple weeks back, so looking back on it, I don't really know what to make of it, but we can see she's got some spiked armor on her leg. Maybe she needs some sort of protection. Appears to be some sort of capsule on her skull. Maybe this could suggest she's a cyborg or something of that nature. There's a fox scarf as well tied around her neck, which I'm not really too sure what that means, but from memory, or what I interpret it as, I think it's some sort of emblem of high society, something like that. So, it's questions like, if this was a post-apocalyptic world, how would something like that be reinterpreted? Could it perhaps just be purely to keep you warm because you haven't got enough clothing around to keep yourself, at livable heat? Ethnicity, she's quite tall, she's got ivory skin, so she's probably of European descent. Her eyes, pouty lips, sort of suggests that she's waiting around or perhaps fed up with life in general. Wearing short shorts as well, so probably just warm weather, something like that. She's got a sword there that probably hasn't become apparent yet, but maybe she wants to protect herself, or maybe she's a warrior of some sort. Yeah, the feet are a little out of proportion, I think. But so overall, I've got a lot of conflicting ideas within the design that don't make much sense. But at this point in the project, I think the randomness of her look is allowing me to be open to a lot of aesthetic possibilities.